Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to another episode in the Patreon Loadout series. It's been a bit of a while, but if you don't know what this series is, essentially one of the rewards for some of my patrons is that every few weeks on the channel they get a chance to showcase what they believe is the nicest loadout for a class of their choice. I'll just be giving my opinions on it, maybe some improvements I'll make and what I like about it. And who knows, maybe some of you guys can take some inspiration from these loadouts and see that some cosmetics work together well and replicate it in your own. But without further ado, let's get into the first loadout of the episode. So this first loadout belongs to CLASSYLIZARD and it's his medic loadout. It consists of a Merc's Mohawk, the fashionable Megalomaniac, apologies if I said that wrong, and the Scourge of the Sky. And this is actually a really unique head cosmetic combination. I personally don't see these used often at all. But the all-class cosmetic being the Merc's Mohawk works so well with the beard of that fashionable Megalomaniac that like it almost looks like it's part of the same cosmetic, and I love that. The Scourge of the Sky, like the brown colour running up around the collar and on the chest region, really does complement the hair, like the natural hair tones really well of the Mohawk and said beard cosmetic. And it's just a really clean like loadout. All the cosmetics seem to go together really well. I genuinely can't think of any improvements. Like, this is really nice and pretty original to see these cosmetics used together. Up next, this one's also from CLASSYLIZARD. We have a scout loadout, this time consisting of a purple energy whoopee cap, a track terrorizer, a stunning macho man or a strange macho man. I also think it's worth noting that in this screenshot in particular, there is a screaming tiger, deep fried desire torn. Whilst it's not the most original, the whoopee cap and the macho man actually go really well together. I'm not sure why it works. In theory, it really shouldn't work. Maybe it's just because I'm a huge fan of the Macho Man as a cosmetic and I've always had a soft spot for the whoopee cap, so maybe that explains it. I just think they work pretty well together. That purple energy and the screaming tiger, I really like how those two work together. And that track terrorizer is definitely a nice cosmetic as well. The terrorizer and the whoopee cap follow the same colour scheme, so it would be pretty interesting to see if he painted that Macho Man team painted, just to see if it blends in a little bit more. But overall, this is a really cool looking loadout. This loadout from Moist is taking a bit of an odd turn though. This is a pyro loadout, and he's actually said that he calls this loadout Who's a Good Boy. It consists of the head prize, the Popeyes, and the Lollipop Liquor, which is a Halloween cosmetic, but you just get this really obscure loadout, and I know it's not really serious, but that's what I kind of like about it. I think the Popeyes and the head prize definitely, I would say go well together. It's more just look really weird together, but definitely in a good way. And that Lollipop Liquor does kind of fit the theme of this kind of like rabid dog kind of fox thing. I don't know, I just think it's a really cool combination of cosmetics that it's not serious at all, and I kind of like that about it, you know? So this next one is a pretty cool soldier loadout we're seeing here from the Orange Knight. And this loadout consists of a Vive la France, a man in slacks, and a classified coif. That could be wrong because he didn't actually show what cosmetics are used, but I mean that's kind of what I guessed from going off the loadout. So I think the Vive la France and the coif work great together, especially when it's painted white. It goes really well with the kind of formalness of the coif. It's just a really cool loadout that, I mean, you could wear this in like if you wanted a serious loadout or if you didn't want one. Like, it doesn't really fit into any boundary like that previous pyro loadout that where it's clearly like not a loadout to be taken seriously. I don't know, I just kind of like this loadout for its simplicity. This next loadout's a scout loadout that belongs to PILLZMAN'S Fox, and we're actually going to be seeing an unusual version of a new hat. We've got a Kilowatt Punk's Pomp, a strange jungle jersey, which is from the second big update, which was obviously Jungle Inferno, and some brown painted summer shades. I love how the Punk's Pomp works with those brown painted summer shades, because normally the summer shades tends to be a cosmetic that stands out a lot, and I think the brown really does kind of subdue that and just I don't know, just makes it work a lot better with that head cosmetic. The jungle jersey in the middle as well really works well, and that, I don't know, I just really like how clean this loadout is. It looks like a real person, like you'd probably see someone walking around looking pretty similar to this, maybe just without the electric in their head. Next up we've got another scout loadout, this time belonging to Spindel, who is slightly less serious with this. we've got a toadstool topper, a marksman, and the Frenchman's formals. Honestly, I completely forgot that the scout could even wear the Frenchman's formals, so when I saw this loadout, it was a bit of a shock, but I think the toadstool topper and the marksman just makes the most obscure head combination that I've seen in quite some time. Like, that is so strange. I think the toadstool topper itself is a really cool hat though. There's also a hot flower power scattergun thrown in the mix as well. It's just quite a fun loadout. You know, the marksman just instantly makes any loadout so much less serious than it should be, just because it's such a comical cosmetic. But overall, it's just pretty cool how these cosmetics are so obscure and work together. And finally, we've got PILLZMAN Fox making yet another return in this series. This time we've got a Death at Dusk Hustler's Hallmark, the Genuine Tomb Readers, and a Strange Tuwamba Tunic. The one thing I find really strange about this loadout is how the Tomb Readers works with the Hallmark, especially with that Death at Dusk cloud being so low. It almost reminds me of the Frontier Justice, the way the hat looks with the glasses. It's quite an obscure combination. Maybe if the Death at Dusk was a bit higher, I'd maybe not see that, but there's also a cabin fevered iron bomber with the effect of cool thrown in the mix as well. I don't see the tunic used on the demo man often at all, so it's quite refreshing to see that, and I actually do think it goes really well with the Hustler's Hallmark. It's almost like a similar kind of stitched pattern around the top of the Hallmark and a stitched pattern at the bottom of the tunic and on the sleeves. It is kind of familiar in a way, but overall these cosmetics do go well together, and it's quite an obscure combination. But yeah, if I was to make one improvement, I would raise the Death at Dusk ever so slightly. But guys, that's just about it for this video. If you did enjoy, please do remember to leave a like and let me know your thoughts down below, and if you'd like to see more videos like this and general gaming content, then do be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching guys, and peace.